Oh, here we are. I just finished my long distance paddle from Belfast down to Dublin for the RNLI, and it had been very slow. I had started, I think, in um 2019, and had after having my son, didn't feel fit enough, so I was doing like short intervals training as I worked my way down the Ards Peninsula, and then I was building up momentum, and then we had lockdown, which slowed everything down. Also, my work was infected during COVID because I'm a massage therapist, so I wasn't able to do a lot of that. So I was doing a lot more outdoor activities, like paddleboarding, everything. So my summers were all gone, um, and Easter and things like that with the paddleboard instructing classes. So I hadn't really done a whole lot, which was fine. I was just going at my own pace. It wasn't competition or anything. I was just doing it my own thing. And but anyway, by the time I really got back into it and made my way to Howth, just outside Dublin, I was really enjoying it. And that was, I think it was October 2022. And by that point, I'd really got the momentum going and I was really enjoying it. And I thought, I'm just going to keep going. Also, I hadn't raised as much as I wanted. I think I'd raised something like 1,800, and I really wanted to raise, I think, £3,000 to £5,000 for the RNLI. So I thought I'd just keep going. The thing is, I'd also spent lots of time abroad. I was a student in Edinburgh uni. I worked in London. I traveled around Asia. I'd lived in America. I'd been to Australia. I traveled a lot of America, but I'd never traveled all of Ireland. I've never been all around Ireland. I didn't really know Ireland that well. And so I just thought, this is just really enjoying it. In fact, we were all really enjoying it, traveling around and seeing everything. So I decided to keep going. And it's getting a bit of press. Lovely Gail Bell did a couple of lovely articles for me about my paddle boarding. And I think that was an older one. But me, there's a picture of me doing the Strangford Lock crossing, the Belfast Lock crossing, and some of these nice photos. So yeah, this is what I wanted to do now. I'd done all of this the whole way around to Dublin, and I wanted to get down. I wanted to finish off the East Coast. So here we go, back on the paddleboard, back on the car, and we're heading off. And actually, so it finished both in October, and this was the new year. So a lot of people think it's crazy paddleboarding during the winter months, but I actually did quite a lot of paddleboarding during the winter months, as long as I was wrapped up well. But we had planned to go away for New Year, and we were meeting some friends in Portmarnock, and we decided to stay in this hotel, which was really lovely. Portmarnock Links Hotel, I think, just right on the water here, Portmarnock Strand, I think that is, and yeah, Velvet Strand, beautiful long beach, and we were meeting friends. Jack's all excited. I am. And this is around the coast in this area. And I arrived there, it was quite windy, but look how flat it was. That's what I'm always like, look how flat it is. And so we just got here. I had my paddleboard at the ready in case. Some fishing. So yeah, so we had a lovely New Year's Eve in Portmarnock. So it's all dolled up. We met up with our lovely friends, Sammy and Caroline, who came down to join. Well, they were there, had family there in Portmarnock. So we met them with their friends. And this is us out in Malahide, local pubs. Brilliant. And this is us on the Strand, went out for big walks in the morning. And yeah, so this is a picture of Portmarnock. Is just above Howth. That's where we're staying. So I had got as far as Howth Harbour last time. And now I wanted to get round to Killiney. We were actually we stayed there with their friends, and then we were heading over. I'd booked Killiney. I had no idea what to expect from Killiney. I really didn't know this area at all. I didn't realize how lovely it is. It's a really beautiful area. I think I was calling it Killiney. So here we are, Killiney Beach, which is a famous surf spot for if you live in Dublin and you're into surfing, you'd probably head out here. So this is me all getting organized. Now, I had a crazy paddle to do because I was going to paddle that day across Dublin Bay, which was a bit nuts. And probably in retrospect, it'd have done me good to get there a day before to really properly have a decent recce to see what it looks like. But that's what I was heading out into that now. That looked pretty perfect to me, flat and calm. And I'd spoken to the Coast Guard, and that's me paddling out through Killiney, Docky, and then into Dublin Bay. And this is where it all started to go a little bit more stressful because there are, compared to any other shipping lane I've tried to cross, it's so wide. And the paddleboarding is so slow. So it was instantly quite worrying because there were sort of ships coming from all directions. This one had just come out and then just literally stopped in front of me. And this is Hoth over here. So this is where I'm trying to get to. And like around here is the harbour. And my original plan was, you instantly see where you're trying to go to and you just want to go straight there, which wasn't going to really work because there was too many ships. So that's me trying to figure out how I was going to get across. And then of course there's stena lines coming in and out, how fast they travel. And this is what the shipping lanes look like. You have the green and the red buoys that you're trying to get to. So, and then of course the fog came down. It was stressful. I remember at one point just thinking, could I just get Richard to come and get me? Which is impossible because I'm in the middle of the sea. But it wasn't, it was quite a stressful trip. Anyway, paddled as hard as I could over to Hoth. I think it's Hoth Lighthouse. Yeah, I'm just on the other side of Dublin Bay. And this is me making my way around. Now, I got around to Hoth Lighthouse and the sea just really picked up. There was a lot of currents. And I guess, I was paddling around here and it's like, it was so calm when I left. And the sea was wild. But you know what? That's probably why there's a lighthouse here. I would say there's a lot of currents coming around here. And it was very choppy. It's probably why there's a lighthouse right there. Look at the state of me, sweating. Oh my gosh, there'd been a lot of adrenaline that morning. And I was paddling as hard as I could. Look a tiny bit tidier. There's Hoth Lighthouse behind me. Hi there. So that's Hoth Lighthouse behind me. I am sweating it. I've literally just paddled across Dublin Bay, avoiding the shipping lane as much as possible, and which was a bit nerve-wracking. And just come round Hoth, which is another example of like how turbulent the sea can be during coming around headland, because it was fairly good all morning, but really rough and choppy there, probably just lots of currents and things going on. But anyway, I'm going to paddle on. I'm looking forward to having some lunch in Hoth. Fingers crossed. All as well, and I get there. Nearly done. I think nearly done. Bearing in mind, this is New Year, New Year paddling. This is January, probably 1st, 2nd. Not going to get many other water people out this time of the year. And I was sweating. That's the thing, you are sweating because you're paddling so hard and you've got all the gear on, I've got my there's my just in the front pocket here, but I've got my winter wetsuit and everything on, gloves, boots, socks. I must have taken the hat on or off, depending on the temperature. But often you're sweating. And here I am finally, such relief to see the harbour and see the sea starting to calm down a bit here. There's some of the islands just outside Hoth. And I'd paddled past these before because this is where I'd come out of Hoth. On my last paddle, the last stint I did the other way around, but yeah, this is where I'd finished before, so I was familiar with it. Beautiful, really beautiful harbour in Hoth, fab town, lots of lovely boats, and so there's a few pictures from that experience. But there we are, finally, big bowl of mussels, glass of wine, celebrating, chicken nuggets, Jack, lots of water for me as well because I was sweating so much. And this is Hoth Castle. We went for a little dander. The guys had come to pick me up, and it was very nice. And then we went to Killiney Hill for an explore, and this is good view. So it's always good to have a couple of days before you do any paddles, just to get there in time to have a real look around and see what the conditions are like, and to look at the sea and learn about what you're trying to do. I think, unfortunately, when I arrived, I was just tight for time, and so I just went straight for it. Sometimes it just depends on the conditions, but it's probably better to do the trickier paddles last. Anyway, this is Wicklow in the distance, which is where I'm going to be heading to next. This is Bray, actually just down here. I'm pretty sure it's just down here, which is the next paddle. Killiney Beach, the surfers are out. It was such a nice atmosphere there, watching the surfers, and people were really friendly. Lovely atmosphere, and people swimming. Jack got just asked and invited in to play some football. Nice, relaxing the old shoulders. And Killiney Hill, great views. Nice just seeing the bit that I'd already paddled. I don't know if you can see, that's Dublin Bay on the other side around here. Can't really see it too well. Anyway, that's the next bit, then down to Bray. And we had a little afternoon in Docky, had a look around, went for a nice pint of Guinness. Beautiful area. Got a bit of PR here in talking about healthy lifestyles and everything, which was really fab. And actually, my friend also, I love her. She does facial yoga, which I use in my detoxes because it's very good for preventing headaches and things like that. And there she's doing demonstration in there. And this girl is a fantastic long distance runner, vegan. And here I am doing my paddleboarding. Anyway, and this was the next stint then down to Bray, and some beautiful houses. Look at those on the way along. Took some photos. And this is the beach. And yeah, then this was a lovely surprise. So also for the new year, for January, I think I must just come home because we were there for New Year, and this was out in the shops, and it was really lovely. It was so kind of Local Women magazine to put me on the front cover. I think that was my first front cover. It was very, very exciting. Cover girl. Yeah, it was lovely. It was really nice seeing it in the shops. And I remember when Jack was in with me one time, and he just thought we were standing in the line for the post office. And I was like, I was just trying to sort of get him to see it. And then he just couldn't believe it whenever he saw the magazine with me on it. So it was lovely. And they did a beautiful article and fantastic photographs. It was really, really very kind, and just a real lovely experience. All in all, it was 2023 now, Chinese New Year of the Rabbit. And I'd gone home and come back. Now it was February, so it was next month, and it was actually my birthday. And it's actually Richard's birthday in the same day. We shared the same birthday. And this is now what I wanted to do. I decided it was actually my 50th, my big 50, and I just got this burning desire to continue round the coast. So where most people are organising fab 50th birthdays, could have gone to Vegas or something like that. I was out paddleboarding, and although my friends, we did organise some nice parties as well, but this was what I really wanted to do for my birthday. So so this time we were we were staying in Killiney. We actually decided to but I wanted to go the whole way down to, sorry, let's go back there. I wanted to go we'd finish at Bray, wanted to go from Bray to Wicklow, Wicklow to Arklow, and then Arklow to Cahors, which is around here. And then I really want to get to Rosslare. So that was the distance, 105 kilometers over February on the east coast. So here we are, off with the car, and as a special treat for my birthday and Richard's, we were staying in Killiney Fitzpatrick Castle. So it was a castle treat, castle hotel. It's nice to experience some of these different things. And Jack, so there's beautiful gardens. They're out playing football, having breakfast, and celebrations. Get it. I can't take all the celebrations because it's actually Richard's birthday as well. I think that this is just like the lights keep shimmering down off all the crystals. But it's very lovely, nice and relaxing, a special treat. Jack really enjoyed it. Some more photos of inside. It was very nice. Nice change. We've been doing a lot of Airbnbs. It was lovely. And we got a nice bottle of champagne. I think my sister sent me a bottle of champagne to the room. This was the restaurant we went to, which was down in the dungeons of the castle. You can see it's all dark behind us. And it's Richard's birthday too. It's not just mine. And then we went to the cocktail bar after with Jack. It was a lovely night, a lovely birthday. And they had guns in the room on the wall, which he was very interested in. So anyway, lovely birthday, dinner, and then the next morning, up and away. So we went down to Bray. And I was trying to go from Bray to Wicklow, 28 kilometers. Past Greystones, and it's the Wicklow Mountains. It was very scenic. Greystones is where Happy Pear is. Happy Pear, they have a fruit and vegetable shop, and I think they have food there. I really wanted to go there, but you know, I was out in the sea and I couldn't quite get there, but Richard and Jack looked out for it. Anyway, here I am at Bray, getting ready to head out. Here we are in Bray, getting ready to get in. Jack and Richard are going to go to the aquarium. I'm going to try and go to Wicklow today. So, see, looks okay. And hopefully, wind and tide is in my favour. But it's quite mild. This is February, so anyway. Here we go, on land support. Richard helped me carry the board down. So here we are. Right. Got my wonderful helpers bringing my board down to the beach. And we're on the Bray. And thankfully, conditions looking good. A little bit of wind offshore, but it should be okay. Okay, here goes. Should take me about 4 hours to get to Wicklow. That's the plan. Bray to Wicklow today. 4-hour paddle. Kilruddery Estate is just over here too, and I had hoped, this is it, I had done a crazy run through muck and it was like a military kind of a thing. What was it called? Forgot the name of it. With friends of mine, Lydia and Mick O'Carroll. And I'd hoped to have organised to see Lydia then, but with the paddleboarding, it's actually quite hard meeting up with people because I never know what the weather's going to be like, and I have just one goal, and that is to try and get into the sea and away as quickly as possible. So anyway, this is me out in the water paddling past Bray. There's the train. And this is Kilruddery. Big mountain. Paddling past there. And the guys drove past Happy Pear. So there's a little restaurant, and then there's the fruit and veg shop. And I love all the recipes. They're like vegetarian, vegan mainly. Really good, very healthy. So they took a wee photo for me. This is Greystones. So I'm out here in the water there in Greystones. And here I am paddling along the coast. Must be just after Greystones. Here we are. Greystones that way. And which is just over here. So stopping for some water. Greystones was that way, and Wicklow is just right over here. So really glad, and I've done it in quite good time today. So yay! So it was a good start. This is coming into Wicklow Harbour. It's a lovely harbour. It seemed very nice. This wee boat was the only boat I'd seen. Obviously, it's this time of the year. There's not many boats out, but I did take a photo of it because they had. You can just about see it in the front. The dog, it's like a salty dog there in the front, taking it all in. And this is me coming into the harbour. It seems like a really nice harbour. Okay, and so that was that bit done. Then the next stage was Wicklow to Arklow, 25 kilometers. Wicklow to Arklow. Beautiful scenery around Wicklow. I have to say, Wicklow Mountains, stunning. This was Wicklow. They were dropping us off here, and here we go. So here I am at Wicklow, and the plan today is Wicklow to Arklow. It's the harbour. It looks nice and sheltered. I think the same conditions as yesterday, although the wind is against me as it was yesterday. It's not, the gusts aren't as strong today. So anyway, this is hopefully take me about 4 hours, maybe less. Anyway, wish me luck. All proceeds going to the RNI. Bye. And this is paddling past Wicklow. It's a golf course there, I think. It was very scenic. The sea's beautiful color. This gorgeous kind of teal colored sea. And then this little seal followed me for a bit. Hello. Hello. Quite friendly, actually. A lighthouse. And carrying on. Lovely beaches. Quite often you're like, where am I? Where you're trying to get to Arklow, so you don't really know what it's going to look like from the sea till you get closer. So you're constantly like looking out, going, where am I getting there yet? Anyway, this is Arklow coming in, and a couple of ducks to meet us. Jack feeding the ducks, and then yeah, and then this is we'd moved on now to the next accommodation out of the castle and down to Cahors, and they had a very friendly dog there, and this lovely, it's like carriage house we stayed in. I think we were in this part here. Yep. And this is Cahors Harbour. So I always pick something that's really short walk to the sea, preferably a pier, because that's the one thing with this time of the year, with it being February, I mean, it is really cold and icy. The sea is freezing, and preferably you're trying not to get wet, because once you get wet, you will really get cold quickly. And I'm lucky, I've been paddleboarding for so long, I very, very, very rarely fall in. So I stay dry the whole time. My hands, I'm just trying to keep the hands from getting frostbite, or the feet. So I try and get them as dry as possible. So I try to launch off somewhere like this rather than coming in off waves where you're likely to possibly fall in and get wet or wade in through waves. I try to hop on and off through piers. So this is Cahors. It's beautiful, beautiful beaches all around Cahors Pier. This is where I was planning to launch from. And now I was going to do the paddle back up to Arklow, where I finished the last time. This was 27. They're all like about just under 30 kilometers each day. It was quite a lot because it was each consecutive day. And then I found this app around this time, I think, Savvy Navi, and what a lifesaver. When you're trying to calculate the tide and the direction of the tide, it's all high water and hours before high water and everything. And it's fine if you are always sailing from one place or paddleboarding from one place. Like if I was doing all my paddles out of Portrush Harbour, I would have it down to a T, or if I was just paddling in Strangford every single time I went out. But because I'm constantly moving around the coast, it's new calculations, and your head can be swimming with numbers trying to figure it out. And even then, I usually have to call a friend because I'm not completely convinced if I've got it right. So this new app I discovered it's for sailing, but also it has says paddleboarding. But it's wonderful because you can see the blue here. This is the wind direction. So the wind's going this way on the way up, and you can see from the arrows that's how the tide is going as well. So that's all I need to know. And I can see how long it's going to be going, and that it's brilliant. You can see over a few days how the tide changes and how the weather changes, and it just made all my calculations a lot easier. Now, it's not going to be always accurate, but I have to say I've used Savvy now for a few years, and it's pretty good. I'd say pretty happy with it. So thank you for that. It makes all my calculations a lot easier. And also, you're planning these trips. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. Often, there's no point looking at the weather even the week before because it can just change so quickly. This Often it's like when I'm driving down, I'm just doing my last proper look at the weather and the tide and the currents and everything like that because it's so changeable, especially in the winter months. But anyway, it's looking quite good. It's Sunday the 12th. And that's me paddling now. That was the plan. Back up to Arklow from Cahor. And that's Cahor Pier. There you go. Good morning. So I am at Cahor Slipway here. Looks like a really nice area. It's 9 in the morning. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little tired because this is my third consecutive day of paddling, but it's been good conditions. And today I've got the wind in my favor for a change. The wind's a little bit higher, but it's heading in that direction. I'm heading up now towards back to Arklow. So I will have done in the last 3 days, Bray to Wicklow, Wicklow to Arklow, and then Arklow to Cahor, but in the reverse direction today. But just glad I've got tide and wind, which is going to be great. Hopefully, here's hoping. Anyway, I'm going to get cracking, but it looks like a nice area, and looking forward to getting this finished and having a couple of days off. Thank you. Please sponsor me. All proceeds go into the RNLI. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, I was getting tired. It's not like it's a holiday. It's my birthday, yes, but I've been out every single day, 4 hours, and Jack and Richard have been very supportive. There they are. So this was me paddling in. So I came in and it was such a long paddle. It took longer and longer and longer. And also actually that day there was rugby on, there was an Ireland game, and Richard and Jack had decided just to meet me in the pub. Oh, no, they'd gone to the pub while they were waiting for me in the afternoon. So they were there waiting, and I remember calling Richard going, I'm so tired. I'm just going to come in now. I'm not there yet. Um, but I'm just going to come in, and he was like, paddle on, there's 20 more minutes of the game. But it was just very hard. I just couldn't find the harbour. It just seemed to go on forever, and it was getting darker and darker. And I was also constantly trying to look along the coast to see if there was any other areas that I could get out from, because you get some areas where there might not be roads nearby. Not going to carry the board after 4 days of paddling, whatever. Anyway, finally got in to the harbour. This is Arklow, and it's quite industrial. It was very hard to even figure out how to get in. Just followed the lights. That's me. Richard must have taken a photo of me coming in. Jack. Here we are, coming in.
Do you see my Ireland shirt?
I just got
that's so cool. Jack got an orange shirt today while I was out paddling. And here I am coming in by darkness to Arklow Harbour. It's not the harbour I was expecting. I think Richard was stressed out too because it was pitch black and he was trying to steer me in. And he was like, come past the rocks. And I'm like, which rocks? There's like rocks everywhere. Past the light. I'm like, which light? There's lamps everywhere.
So yeah, paddling in the dark, not great. Here we are in the pitch black, getting back in the car and ready to go on to the next bit. Oh, that was exhausting. So it's dark at 5:30 in February, and that's why it's so easy to get caught out. So anyway, it was a long day and we were all tired. They'd had a good time in the pub though, that was the main thing. And Jack had won a shirt, an Ireland shirt, which was great. Yep, so all in, that's us in the car. So took an afternoon off or morning off, whatever. Because I remember coming in then just absolutely exhausted, calling the Coast Guard, expecting the Coast Guard to just like totally be really cross at me coming in so late. But they were just glad, that I'd got in and I was fine. I'd been calling them they got used to me, calling in, checking in every day, and I was so tired. And they said, "Well, will you be out tomorrow?" And I remember thinking, oh, that was the last thing I was thinking about doing, was going out tomorrow. But anyway, we did take a little break and we went to a bit of sightseeing. We went to, this is Wells, beautiful house with lovely gardens. Advice from the tree: stand tall and proud, go out on a limb, remember your roots, drink plenty of water, be content with your natural beauty and enjoy the view. And there was just lots of fun things for Jack to do. Ferry trails, the snowdrops were out, it's February. Then just lots of fun things to see. Cool dragons. Gorgeous. Yep. So this was the last bit of paddling. Now I think this is the 5th day. I was absolutely shattered. And the wind was picking up now. It was borderline. So I had wanted to finish it at Rosslare, but I just thought this shorter trip would be enough. Look, I'm very close. But as far as Wexford, just seemed to be a little bit safer. I mean, it was 32.8 kilometers. It's still very long. So I wasn't going to be realistic. I wasn't going to get to Rosslare in that paddle. Anyway, here I am doing all my stretches and rolling out at the wee Airbnb because I was stiff and tight and sore from all the paddle boarding. This is the Cohor Beach. This was us going out for some nice walks, bit of family time. That's the wee pier. Oh, we did a bit of pitch and putt too, which was good. Miniature golf, it was good fun. So this is it. This is the last stint. So this is Wexford Harbour here. And there's a beautiful beach here that I wanted to launch from, Ravens Point, and then back up to where I'd finished at Cohor, 26 kilometers. Although it doesn't look so great on that. The wind's going that way, but the tide's coming that way. Anyway, this was the beautiful beach, Ravens Point. Now this beach is called Ballinesker. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Steven Spielberg shot the film Saving Private Ryan in 1997. And it's 8 kilometers north of Wexford town. So it's very close to Wexford. It's right on the mouth of the harbour. Of the water coming out from there. Anyway, look at that beautiful, stunning golden beach. It's really, really lovely. So here we are at Raven Point, which is headland here at Wexford. And that's what I'm planning on paddling today, is back up to Cohor. So it looks quite good, I'd say. It's looking good. I think the wind should be in my favour today. And it's about 16 miles, so we're going to do about it should be 4 hours of just nice sandy blue stretches. 4 hours, 4 more hours. Anyway, there we are, Ravens Point Natural Reserve, really lovely. So here we are, this is Raven Point, and it's beautiful. It's a nature reserve here. This is Wexford. Down here is towards Rosslare, and that way is to Cohor, which is where I finished last time. So I'm aiming to head back up to Cohor. It's a nice sunny day, although so Coast Guard, there is a weather warning for small crafts all around Ireland today. So that's why I decided to do a slightly shorter. I would have liked to got to Rosslare, but
Went for a slightly shorter route today because slightly higher winds and hoping that if there's any problems, I'm just straight on this nice big sandy beach today. So right. It's always good to call Coast Guard because you find out these extra little facts. Anyway, better get going. Bye for now. Wish me luck. All proceeds going to RNLI. Bye. So yeah, they warned me of a small craft warning. So really probably shouldn't have been out that day. It was downwind to me. It was like a downwind paddle, with the wind on my back. And I felt safe enough because it wasn't like I was going around the side of cliffs. I was going along a sandy beach. So I could have just literally gotten out at any point if I wasn't feeling like, you know what, this is too strong for me or whatever. So it felt safe enough, but it was good to get that heads up from them. Today. The sea's gorgeous. I had the wind on my back, which was great. Definitely helped. Past all the wind farms. And there's a castle up there. Is that Cohor Castle? Possibly. This is the along end of that beach, Ballinesker Beach, I think. And then coming up to Cohor. Oh yes. And I find a lovely little dolphin. I think it was a dolphin. There may be more, I've forgotten. So hard trying to catch them on video. Anyway, it was a lovely experience. The sea was nice. It was quite wild, but it was nice. And this was me. Yeah, I think that's Cohor Castle. So yeah, there we are. Cohor. If you look right over there, I think that's Wicklow Mountains. So I'd literally gone from way over there, Bray, in the like the last 4 or 5 days, the whole way to here. It was a large stretch. It was basically Dublin to Wexford, over a week in February, which was I was very lucky. I got all of that done, to be honest. So here I am. Where are we? Cahor Point. So this was the last leg, which was I did it in reverse because of the wind direction, but I finished here last time, Cahor, and I needed to get down to. I was hoping to get to Rosslare, but the wind was just a little stronger than I had wanted to do, and so I thought we'll just do it a little bit shorter. So rather than it was 20 miles, the original plan to Rosslare, I decided just to go to Wexford, which was 16 miles. Rather be safe than sorry. And also, you know, I've just done 4 days of long distance paddling of at least 4 or 5, sometimes 6 hours a day. So, you know what, I thought just leave it on a slightly easier note. And today was perfect because I had the wind in my sails, so to speak. So that was great. Anyway, see you later. Bye. So that's it, done and dusted. That was all I was doing in that trip because the wind was picking up now, and that was the window of opportunity disappearing. Just for some nice walks along the path there at Cahor, and back on the ball doing some rolling and stretching because it was a lot of paddle boarding, which is very repetitive. That was the last stretch there done. There we go. Last day. And wind paddleboarding, yeah, it's always nice if you get a bit of wind on your back for a change. So yeah, it was raised a bit more. I still had a long way to go with the fundraising. But this was really nice. I had a friend, a good friend and yoga student of mine, her daughter, very sweet, and she wanted to do a little talk about me for her school. It must have been show and tell, but she's so cute. Hi Rachel, I hear you've got some questions for me.
I was wondering if you saw any animals.
When I'm out paddleboarding, yes. I used to see a lot of seals. paddling around the Irish coast. If I've been very lucky, I've seen a couple of times I've encountered dolphins. I've seen a few porpoises, lots of lovely birds. I've seen like swans and geese flying overhead. One time I saw some conger eels swimming near the rocks nearby. So yeah, it's lovely being out in nature.
And what do you eat before you go paddleboarding?
Well, I usually try to eat lots of food before I go paddleboarding because I don't usually have time to eat when I'm on the board. So usually just have like often I go out in the morning, so I'll have like a good big breakfast. Maybe like some porridge or something like that. Or if it's in the afternoon, like a sandwich or soup or something before I head out. Sometimes I bring some snacks for the board as well. Like I always have water and I might bring some maybe some biscuits or something or chocolate when I'm out in the sea.
How much money have you raised?
So far, I've raised about maybe £6,800, something like that.
Um, um,
The money I raised was for 3 different paddles. Like the first one was 75 miles, and that was for my cousin Alison, and I raised about £3,000 for her. Then I did the North Coast paddle for another friend, which is about £3,000, Eilish. And then I paddled from Belfast to Dublin, and I raised about 1,500, but I've been still trying to continue fundraising.
She's so cute. She's only 8. She's doing this interview. She's
have you been doing meditation on the board?
Well, because I teach yoga, I like to do meditation as well, and I find it really a good time to do meditation when I'm out in the water, and it helps keep me relaxed and focused, and gives me something else to think about instead of just how many more miles are still to go. So yeah, I do yoga meditation on the board, yoga usually before and after, stretch out.
And how far have you got?
So far, I think I've paddled around 600 kilometers, something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I've nearly paddled I paddled all of Northern Ireland and the whole way from the north coast, so far from Lough Foyle, Donegal, and the whole way down to Rosslare so far. Still paddling. Is that all the questions?
Yes.
Thanks, Rachel. That's a great interview.
Bye.
she's so sweet. Anyway, that was so nice. And then we did a wee picture outside, and Jack jumped in the action. And I also got invited to this, so this was a lovely surprise. This was at the Europa Hotel. It's in April. Local Women magazine. We're running Women's Sports Awards 2023. So it was a real treat to be nominated, a nominee. I got the message about it. I was very excited. And yep, that was us. Richard and I went along. This is very excited to be heading out tonight to the special awards ceremony that I become a finalist in for Women's Awards 2023. So that was a really nice surprise. So some of the nice benefits of doing this sort of all the hard work of the paddleboarding it is really lovely to get some recognition for what you're doing. Mind you, I mean, listening to all of these women had been doing amazing sporting achievements, everything from Commonwealth Games, swimmers, footballers, all kinds of athletes. Mary Peters was here, and it was all the ages. And there was so many people at it. It was amazing. It was very, very inspiring. And like you just realize, like I know how much like training and how much time I spend out paddleboarding and organize my paddleboarding and trying to get around Ireland. And I know all of these women dedicate a lot of their free time and energy into their sports and their activities and their achievements. So I just, the hours of training that goes in behind is very inspiring, and it's just lovely to hear. So it was a brilliant evening, really good, lovely food, great music, and it was a nice wee treat, nice wee evening out for us. And so that ends the paddle from Dublin to Wexford. So that's nearly all the East Coast done now. Yay!